So let's talk about why is it difficult to get a job? I'm going to share with you 4 simple steps. If you apply these steps, you will increase the likelihood that you get job offers. It's a lot more intricate details involved, but I'm going to give you this to get you started on the right path. So let's get to that first step. So the very first step is you have to get noticed by employers. That's the key. This is where a lot of people really have problems. You'll see later on that I'm going to show you a comment that was given to me on one of my videos. And I really felt bad for the person. I understood what they were saying, but I really felt bad because they're at a point where I could possibly help them, but I don't know if they would receive my help. And part of their problem is this first step, which is getting noticed. You have to get the attention of the employer. And it's not just you applying for jobs, right? There's other people applying as well. So the next step is once you get noticed, you have to get the job interviews. Now, most people think they're supposed to get job interviews. Why they think that, I have no clue. But you have get noticed. If you get noticed and they like what they see, you get the job interviews. Now, the next step is to get the job offers or to get hired. And you notice how you can't have one without the other. You notice how you got to get noticed to get the job interviews, but you got to get the job interviews to get to the point where you can get a job offer. And then the next one is get promotions. So to get a promotion, you have to actually get the job offer. To get the job offer, you have to get job interviews. And to get to job interviews, you have to get noticed. And so this simple 4-step process, so many people get stuck on step number 1. And then you have even more get stuck on step number 2. So people have problems with getting noticed and getting job interviews. And then when they get the job interviews, they go on several job interviews and they can't get the job offer and they get stressed. But we're going to talk about that in a minute. So let's break down each one of these. And I'm going to give you an idea of what you should be focusing on, what you should be doing in each one of these steps. So get noticed. So one of the first things you're going to see here is solid resume and cover letter. Now, there's a lot of debate regarding should you have a resume? Should you have a cover letter? Is it even needed anymore? Steer clear of that debate. Have one. Okay. You don't know if you're going to use your cover letter because so many jobs have shifted away from a cover letter in the sense that you can use a template or a boilerplate cover letter. They ask you specific questions now, and they want to know the answers to those questions. So it's not like your cover letter can fit what they're asking for. You have to create something new. So definitely have a cover letter, have a resume, make sure it's solid. But even saying make it solid, what does solid mean, right? See, there's intricate details to each one of these. We're not going to go over that, but I at least want you to know what you need to be doing, what you should be focusing on. The next thing you have is establish strong online presence. So how do you do that? Most people will tell you your LinkedIn profile. Absolutely. Spice it up. But what is it you do? Like, how do you spice it up, right? Like, what exactly do you do to your LinkedIn profile to make employers want to contact you and not someone else? But remember, it says your online presence. You can have a presence on YouTube, Twitter, X now. You can have a presence on Instagram, TikTok. There's so many platforms you can have a presence. It's a question of which one would best represent you and your profession. Because if I'm a creative, I most likely will have something on LinkedIn, but I will definitely have some type of portfolio or something on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok and possibly Twitter, just showcasing what I can do. The next thing is seek mentorship. You need a mentor. And once again, how do you find a mentor? What are the steps to do that? Not complicated, but you need someone who's already doing what you want to do, and get their input and their insight and their guidance to help you to navigate the career path that you want to go on. And look, you need this before you start looking for work. Now, the cool part is this can be someone who may be at a higher level than you, but might not be in the industry you want to get in. That's okay, because they know some things that you don't know. And so they can help you avoid the common pitfalls. You also want to take into consideration possibly volunteering or do a side job. This is a great way. If you're someone who has a lot of experience, or you're someone who can really learn pretty quickly, volunteering and doing a side job would help you to develop the skill sets you need to possibly move into the field that you say you want to get into. And you're going to notice when we get to the final slide, where I got that comment, I'm going to break down the comment because I really want you to understand where people get stuck. And then host webinars or workshops. Now, as soon as I said it, you're probably thinking, wait a minute, I can't. Yes, you can. You can host a webinar. You can do a workshop. Why? Because you have expertise. You have experience, you have knowledge, you have skills, you have something of value that you can offer to someone. You just have to get comfortable speaking in front of people. It's not as complicated as you think, but that is a wonderful opportunity to get noticed. Finally, network at industry meetups and conferences. Go to a local meetup. Forget conferences. Some people get nervous when you hear conferences. Go to meetup.com. Find a local meetup in the field that you want to get into or the job that you want. Go to the meetup and just meet people. Start talking. Let them know you're just getting started in this field and have conversations with them. You might even meet a mentor there. You have no clue. So when we're looking at getting noticed, this is only 6 of many, many, many things you can actually do. But at least want you to understand what you should be focusing on and the direction you should be going in when it comes to getting noticed. So now let's go to get the interviews. So the first thing you're going to want to do is tailor your resume. You want your resume to be very focused on the role that you want. Once again, there are intricate details in how you do this. Not complicated, but it takes a little work. And as you're working on that resume and you getting that together, now you want to tap into your professional network. I don't have a network. Yes, you do. Let me make this very simple. If someone is just in school and they haven't graduated high school yet, they still have a network. How is that possible? If they participate in any extracurricular activities, they have a network. The students in their class, they have a network. The teachers, the counselors, system principals, they have a network. They have a network. Don't always think a network has to be something so big and no, it's a network for you is people you frequently interact with. Okay. So if you have a job, if you've had a job, you have a network. You have ex-coworkers, people you work with. If you're currently working, you have coworkers, people you work with. That's part of your network. The managers, supervisors, whatever, that's part of your network. Customers, that's part of your network. So don't ever think you don't have a network. And then you want to reach out to recruiters. This is something a lot of people don't do. If you understand the role of a recruiter, their job is to find the most qualified person for the role. Now, they don't know everyone on the planet, so they have to go and seek out these people. But if you feel you're qualified, you got that solid resume, why not reach out to them, connect with them, let them know you exist? Now, they might not have a role for you, but guess what? Now they'll put you in their database, and when something does come up, they'll reach out to you. So imagine just reaching out to 10, 15 recruiters, constantly staying in contact with them, not necessarily harassing them. Okay. Once every 2 weeks, just touching base, see how things are going, send them a little article, send them a link to something that may interest them, just to stay in touch. That's it. You're done. So does that seem hard to you? Of course it doesn't. So optimize your LinkedIn profile. Once again, we said under getting noticed, establish your online presence. Then you got to optimize that LinkedIn profile. Okay. It's not complicated. It's fairly simple. Trust me. Don't rack your brain trying to figure that out. Then consider temporary or contract work. Now, this is something that most people have a problem with, because in their mind, they're thinking, I had a full-time permanent job and now I got to settle for this. No. See, I could do a whole training on this. The word settle should not be in your vocabulary. Okay. We're adults here, so I'm going to speak to you as one. You have bills to pay. You have mouths to feed. Would you rather go an extended time without any money, or would you rather get something temporary or contract that will allow you to generate some money to help you pay the bills until you find something that's permanent? My wife did that. She quit her job, couldn't take it anymore. And she took a week off. Literally in her second week off, she secured another job. So she basically got a 2-week vacation and then went back, and it was temporary. Why? Because she said, I got to figure out what I want to do. I'm going to take something temporary until I can find something permanent. No problem. And she loved the fact she got paid every week. So I'm telling you, there is nothing wrong with a temporary or contract job. But the next point is very important, because this is where I believe you may drop the ball, which is to be patient and consistent. It is extremely difficult to be patient and consistent when you're trying to get notice, when you're trying to get job interviews, and no one is contacting you for job interviews, or they do contact you and you do interview and they don't call you back. It is so important for you to be patient and consistent. I cannot stress that enough. And you're going to see why in a minute. So get the job offers. So when you're interviewing, one of the things you must be able to do is to tailor your responses to the interview questions to the role. That means you need to have a unique answer that no one else has. Now you're thinking, how in the world is that possible? It's very easy. I'm going to be honest with you, because all you're doing is pulling the answer from your experience, regardless of the question. So you also want to quantify your achievements, meaning you want to be able to show the impact you've had in the roles that you've had. For example, I had a job where I generated approximately $360,000 a year. Okay. Wasn't much, but my job wasn't to generate income, but I understood my role and how it impacted the bottom line. And so I said, oh, I can help generate more revenue for the company. So I started doing what I do. And that was $360,000 per year. I end up getting a job after that where I helped to generate over $400,000 per month. Yes, per month. So you're probably thinking, wait, how do you know your numbers? That's your responsibility, to know the impact you have in the role that you're in or have had. If you don't, for example, if I am someone who is proposal writer, right? And I write proposals and we get $1.3 million in funding every 3 months. Well, that's $2.6 million in 6 months in revenue generated because of the contracts that I was able to get. That's $5.2 million a year that I helped to get. So you have to be able to quantify what you've done. There's many ways to do it. If you don't know how to do it, don't worry. I may be able to help you. We'll get to that later. So you want to showcase your problem solving. This has become something that is mandatory for many jobs because things happen and problems arise. And the first thing you don't want as a manager or supervisor is somebody on your team telling you, hey, that's not my problem. Shoot, I'm just doing this. No. Your job is to eliminate or reduce or solve whatever problems may arise to make not only your job easier, but the supervisor or manager's job easy. So that's something that's needed across the board. So if you don't like solving problems, you're going to have a very difficult time finding a job because many jobs do require you to solve some problems. You have to ask insightful questions. On the interview, right? If you want that job offer, these are things you're going to have to do. So at the end of every job interview, do you have questions for me? And you ask insightful questions. Act like you want the job. Show enthusiasm. Show enthusiasm. Be excited when you're interviewing for the job. Okay? You should be excited because someone is about to give you money based on the answers you give to them. Have you ever thought of an interview like that? How can you get nervous when someone's about to give you some money? You should be happy. At least that's how I look at it. Not sure how you look at it. So that's on you. And then demonstrate cultural fit. There are 6 different types of fit. I can't get into that right now. But most important is you have to know your fit, meaning what are the different types of fit that you need. There's only 6 of them. I need 2 of them. And once you identify what those fits are, then when you start looking for companies, then you go, oh, I am a cultural fit for this company because what I am looking for in a company, they are looking for in an employee like me. So it's a good match. Most people don't job search like that. So that's another story. As I said earlier, there's like intricate details to this. Okay. But I at least want to expose you to what you should be focusing on so you can avoid a lot of wasted time and the common pitfalls. Be ready to negotiate. Some jobs will like you on the spot. I'll give you a prime example. My wife had, two job offers. And she got a call at the last minute for another job on a Friday. But one of the jobs that made her an offer wanted a response by Friday. So she went on a job interview on Friday and she said, look, I already got 2 job offers. So you're going to have to make your best offer. So they made their best offer. And it was way, way, way more than the other 2. So the one that requested an answer by Friday, she told them no. On Monday, the one that required an answer, she told them no. Tuesday, they countered. She told them no again. So she still didn't have the other offer for the job that she wanted. 2 hours afterwards, she ended up getting that offer. But she had to negotiate. Okay. That's negotiating. I know most people think you're going to haggle over stuff. No, it's just really stating what you want. And if they can pay it, they will tell you we can pay it, or they can't. So be ready to negotiate because you just never know, which means you need to know how much you want before you even show up. But that's a whole nother training. So follow up with a value-driven thank you note. Please, 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 please follow up. Oh my goodness, follow up. Most people do not follow up. Please follow up. Email, however you're going to do it. Just make sure you follow up. Now we get to promotions. So when it comes to promotions, so let me frame this for you. You get noticed. You get the job interview. You get the job offer. You're hired. Now you have the job at this point. Once you have the job, you want to exceed expectations. Whatever expectations your manager, supervisor have of you, you want to exceed it. Now, I'm going to say this, and it's very important you hear what I'm about to say. Whatever your manager is looking for, you make sure you give it to them. This is not the opportunity for you to be creative. You show, you can follow directions, and you can deliver. And you do it consistently. And at some point, you're going to have some wiggle room to get a little creative with that process and tweak it to fit you. But in the beginning, know what the expectation is and give it to your boss. Let them see you can meet and exceed their expectations. If you do anything else outside of what they told you, there's a good chance you will not keep that job. I'm just letting you know up front. It may not be fair, but if the boss can't see that you can deliver what they ask for, why would they keep you? Okay? Do not get creative. Follow the instructions, deliver. Now, the second thing is, when you're on the job, it's very easy to be, how could I say this? Comfortable, complacent. And what you want to do is continually learn. That is so critical for you. One of the reasons I have been able to stay employed for over 40 years now is because I love to learn. Every time I see something that I think would benefit me and my household, I will learn it. I'm currently learning data analytics. Why? I've been doing it for years, never really learned how to officially do it. But I've done it in some capacity over the years. I said, no, let me drill down and let me start understanding the theory, the concepts. Let me start understanding Python, R, SQL, SQL, and I'm going to take an intro to computer programming class so I can bring all of this together, because I see for me, there is a need to analyze data for what I do. And on top of that, if I can use those skills for me and I have a portfolio, then I'm able to showcase what I've done for me, share my GitHub, and then people go, oh, he does know what he's doing. Boom. I can leverage that into consulting, contract work, whatever I want. Okay. But I'm opening doors for me in the future if I decide I want to pivot in that direction. Take on high visibility projects. Where I worked, there was a big project, big rollout over a year. And there was about 5 to 6 people that put their hands up and said, we'll do it. And they became the change champions. And all the changes that were going on, we would have trainings with them and they would inform us on what's working, how to work it, what's changed, workarounds. It really helped us transition to the new system. But the thing is, they are now known by leadership. Okay. Which is the next one, build relationships with leadership. You will do that if you take on projects that have high visibility. So you want to be known for what you can do. And if you do it consistently, then word's going to spread. You're someone that can be counted on to get things done. Document your achievements. That goes back to quantifying. Okay. If you're able to quantify what you've been able to do in your role, you're technically documenting all of your achievements. You should do that anyway. You should do that, especially if you're looking for a promotion and you want a raise. You should be able to say, I did this, I did that, I did this, but quantify it. Okay. Develop leadership skills. This is important. How can I say this? You don't need the title to lead. You can lead from your seat, meaning you can be someone who is resourceful and people know you have knowledge and information that can help them, and they will come to you and seek you out for advice. That on every job that I've had, I've always been that person. Why? I just told you I love to learn. So I'm always reading. I'm always learning. So they want to get my input on things. I'm like, look, my paycheck doesn't say boss. It says worker like you. But but we trust your judgment. We trust what you say. I'm like, okay, what is it? Then they'll ask me. I said, well, if it was me, this is what I would do. And then they would just go and do it and it will work. So you can lead from your seat. So you can have leadership skills and abilities, but not have the title. Please remember that. Don't wait to develop it. Develop it in your current role. That's so important. Then finally, seek feedback and improve. Seek feedback. Look, you're going to screw up. Okay. So don't worry about messing up. What you want to do is say, hey, I messed up. Where do you think I could have done better? And whoever it is will tell you, you go, oh, I didn't think of that. And they say, yeah, next time you want to think about that. And you go, okay, take notes and make sure you never make that mistake again. And when it comes up and they see you did not make that mistake, it will be evident that you learned from that mistake. So don't be afraid to make mistakes, but definitely seek feedback and improve. So now I want to talk about this quicksand because this is the comment that I received. And I put this over here: get noticed, get interviewed, get job offers, hired, get promotions. I want you to see this as I go through this, because I'm going to break this down. When I read this, like I said, it really bothered me. It hurt me because I understood where this person is right now. And like I said earlier, I'm not sure if they would be willing to accept what I would say. So I'm going to read this and I'm going to stop and explain. He said, you right. There are jobs out there, but entry level require 3 to 5 years of experience. So is that true or false? I'm not interested if it's true or false. What I'm more interested in is, where did you get that from? Where did you get that entry level is 3 to 5 years? Because I know from my 40 plus years of experience, for some roles that are higher level in pay, in requirements, and experience, that may be true, right? Like entry level, 3 to 5 years. It's entry level in that specific field, but they do require some experience. I can see how this could come up, 3 to 5 years experience. But generally speaking, if you do a search on any job board, Indeed, Glassdoor, LinkedIn, whatever, if you just do entry level, whatever your state is, whatever your city is, you're going to see technically entry level is 0 to 2 years. That's generally what you're going to see. Now, he says here, that's the issue. You say go out there and get credentials, but we gain the experience unless somebody finally gives us a chance. So, oh boy. I'm trying to figure out how to say this without being so raw, but that's just who I am. I don't ever want you to look out in the job market and say to yourself or even think that someone should give you a chance. The reason why I don't want that for you is because the moment you frame your mind to think someone should give you a chance, you're operating from a weak position. What you're basically saying is, I'm beat down, I'm stuck in this quicksand, and unless somebody helps me to get out, give me a chance, I can't get out. No, take ownership. Take ownership. It's your responsibility to get yourself up, wipe yourself off. It's your responsibility to continue to learn. It's your responsibility to keep pressing forward. It's nobody's responsibility to give you a chance. Employers will give you a chance if they see that what you possess is valuable to them. So if no one is giving you a chance, it's because they don't see the value in what's being offered. Ooh, that hurts. Ooh, that hurts. But it's the truth. If you keep applying, what you're going to see further down, and no one is calling you, or they're calling you, they're not hiring you, they don't, one, when you're getting noticed, they don't see the value in what you're offering. If they see something and they call you for an interview, you're not giving the value. You're not showing them how they're going to benefit from hiring you. So never, ever, ever say, give me a chance. So he says, well, how I know? Because I applied to 200 plus jobs. Let me stop right here. I want to make this very clear to you, because at no point should you ever apply to 200 jobs. ever. I have never applied to 200 jobs. I don't even know if I've applied to 200 jobs in my entire career. Maybe 50. I can stretch it to 75. Okay. I don't even know if it's 50. My point is, if you're applying to 200 jobs, look at this: electrical, construction, aviation, engineering, to Walmart, fast food. I either get I'm overqualified, or I get an interview, never get a call back, or I don't have enough experience. So let me break this down for you. The problem here is the person is not focused. Let me help you understand this simple freaking word. Focused effort is what you need. When you allow yourself to get stuck in this quicksand, when you start framing your thoughts to say somebody should give me a chance, then you start applying to jobs hand over fist, because in your mind, I need money, I need money, I need money, I got to pay bills, I need money. Yeah, we know that's true, right? Like, we know if you're looking for a job, especially if you don't have one, you need money. We get that part, okay? That's not some, heck, if the employer did not offer a salary, you would not be applying. So they know you need money. So that's not the issue. The issue is what you will be presenting to the employer when you are in that mindset, that frantic mindset where you're looking desperate and you need a job. No employer is going to hire someone who's desperate looking for a job. It's not going to happen. There's too many confident people who can demonstrate how the employer is going to benefit from them, and they're not going to settle for someone who's desperate. When you're applying to 200 plus jobs, you're coming across desperate, you're not focused, and of course, they're going to tell you you're overqualified because you're applying for jobs you shouldn't be applying for. They already know the moment you find something better, you're leaving. Of course, they're going to interview you because they saw something and they want to meet you to see, could this person work here? But then they don't call you back because they find someone better. Okay. Of course, you don't have enough experience, but they called you because they said, maybe we'll consider this person for another role. But guess what? You wasn't a culture fit. And so he says, I'm willing to drive trucks, but guess what? That costs money to enroll. Of course it does. I got a bunch of friends that are truck drivers. Yes, there are jobs, but don't ignore the fact that entry-level positions asking for 3 to 6 years of experience. Please do me a favor. Please do me a favor. Go on the job sites and just type in entry-level, your city, look at the first 10, and you tell me if it says 3 to 6 years or does it say 0 to 2 years. You just do your own homework. I'm not going to discuss that anymore. And he said, before you ask, yes, I have experience in every field I applied. Once again, that goes back to the comment where I said he's not focused. If you truly want to get a job, you must get focused. I don't apply to every job. I'm very specific in the roles that I want, and I only apply to those. Let's say I was out of work for 4 months, had a job, it didn't work out. It was like, bye, we parted ways. I didn't want to stay. They didn't want me. It just wasn't a good fit. Just wasn't. I was so glad I lost that job. Jeez. And for 4 months, well, it wasn't really 4 months because that was in November of 2021. I got another job in January, but it didn't start until March. So, but I had a job, but I had to go through training. So, but technically for 4 months, I was out of work. But I was very specific in what I wanted. Very specific. And during that, right before Thanksgiving up to Christmas, 2 months period, I applied to maybe 6 jobs, 6 in total in that 2 month period. Every last one of them called me back. Every last one of them interviewed me. But I picked the one that I felt was the better fit for me and my household. So when I see 200 plus jobs, I'm like, geez, you're all over the place, man. Got to get focused. So what's next? It's important that you do not skip a step, no matter how simple it may appear. Okay? You can become the top job candidate for any job and get the job offer. You can check out getbacktobasics.info. I have a video over there. You can watch that. That'll give you 3 additional tips or concepts on how you can become the top job candidate. My whole purpose of this was to show you that you need to figure out how to get noticed, how to get those interviews, how to get the job offer, and once you get that job offer, how to get promotions. Now, this was a high-level overview. Hope you enjoyed it. And I have some more good stuff coming. So you take care and you be safe. Stay blessed.